I can't actually describe you or know you, but there's one thing that I can do is day and night. What I can do is I can try to praise you. I can praise you all day, all night. I can sing your name. I can sing your virtues. This is why in this dark age, Kaljug mein kirtan pardana, Gurmukh japiya laye tyana, that we want to just focus our consciousness on Guru Sahib's Shabad, on that Naam, and day and night we want to do Kirtan, pyareo. Singing this Kirtan is one of the highest forms of puja, the highest forms of worship, the highest forms of meditation that you can do in this entire world, especially in this dark age, pyareo. So Guru Ram Das Ji is saying, oh my mind, if you can't know Akal Purkh, if he is beyond measure, then just sing his praises day and night, day and night. Praise as more you can, because this is what is going to do your gati. This is what is going to liberate you. Satnam Sri Vaheguru Sahib Ji. हम क्या गुण तेरे विथर है स्वामी, तू अपरे अपारो राम राजे। हर नाम सलाह है दिन रात, एहा आस आधारो। हम मूर्ख किछु न जानहा, किव पावह पारो। जन नानक हर का दास है, हर दास पनहारो। सलोक महला पहला, सच काल कूड़ वरत्या। कल कालख बेताल, बियो बीज पत लै गए। अब क्यों उगवै दाल, जे एक होए ता उगवै। रुती हूरत होए, नानक पाहै बाहरा। कोरै रंग न सोए, भै विच खुंब चढ़ाइयै। शर्म पाहो तन होए, नानक भगति जे रपै। कूड़ै सोए न कोए। महला पहला, लब पाप दोए राजा महता। कूड़ होआ सिकदार, काम नेब सद पुछियै। बह बह करे विचार, अंधी रैयत ज्ञान विहूणी। पाहे भरे मुरदार, ज्ञानी नचह वाजे वावह। रूप करह सीगार, ऊंचे कूकह वादा गावह। जोधा का विचार, मूर्ख पंडित हिकमत हुज्जत। संजय करह प्यार, धर्मी धर्म करह गावावह। मंगह मोख दुआर, जति सदावह जुगत न जानह। छड बह कर बार, सबको पूरा आपे होवै। घट न कोई आखै, पत परवाना पिछै पाइयै। ता नानक तोलिया जापै। महला पहला, वदी सुवजग नानका। सच्चा वेखै सोए, सबनी छाला मारिया। करता करे सो होए, अग्गै जात न जोर है। अग्गै जियो नवे, जिनकी लेखै पत पवै। चंगे सेई के पौड़ी, धुर कर्म जिना को तुध पाया। तां तिनी खसम ते आया, इना जनतां कै वस किछ नाही। तुध वेकी जगत उपाया, इक नानो तू मेल लह। इक आपो तुध खुआया, गुर किरपा ते जानिया। जिथै तुध आप बुझाया, सहजे ही सच समाया। गुर किरपा ते जानिया, जिथै तुध आप बुझाया। सहजे ही सच समाया। वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह। Guru Pyari Saad Sangat Ji, we've been blessed by Sache Pacha to continue on Sri Asa Di Vaar Vichar, here speaking about the 11th Pauri, where Tan Tan Shri Guru Nanak Dev Ji Sache Pacha, they recite 3 different sloks, all of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Sache Pacha and the Pauri of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Sache Pachas as well. Pyareo, there was a time when Guru Nanak Dev Ji Sache Pacha, some Pardama, they believe 2 different Uthanikas of this. The very first one is when Rai Bular, just like in the previous sloks, he was asking a question. And this time Rai Bular asks a question, Hey Sache Pacha, this entire world, if it's all good, can you, and if we're living in Kaljug as you explain, then what or the Lachan of Kaljug. The other Thanika that is present in Guru Nanak Prakash, that Kavi Santokh Singh Ji writes that when Guru Nanak Dev Ji, when they traveled to Achal Vatala, when they arrived there, they had a conversation with the Siddhs. In that conversation with the Sadhus, the same question was asked, and Guru Nanak Dev Ji also explained this. They asked, what does Kaljug look like? What are the Lachan of Kaljug, signs of Kaljug? And Guru Nanak Dev Ji Sache Pacha is explaining to them, we are the true form of Paramatma. Kaho Kabir, eh Raam ki ans, jas kagad par mite na mans. We read that we are the exact same form, the Kabir Ji says, of Akal Purkh. Just like ink is written on paper, and once the ink is written on paper, you can't separate the letters from the paper itself. Just kagat par mita namans, you can't separate them just like that. We are the form of Akal Purkh, but we are living in that little form of separation. And in this Kaljug Pyareo, this dark age, there are many factors, many influences that make us forget the state of Paramatma, that we are that form. Sache Pacha blesses us with that enlightenment to be able to merge with that. But Pyareo, let's first look at, just like we've been looking at with the rest of in the series, the Tukmatur Vichar, which we are going to do of Guru Ramdas Ji Sache Pacha Shand, which is given the Maryada to be added on to these sloks. Guru Ramdas Ji Sache Pacha says, Hum kya gun tere vithar hai swami, tu apare uparo Ram Raje. What praises of yours can I say? I have no intellect. You are the ocean. I'm a small fish. How can I fit the entire ocean within myself? If my mind is a bowl, how can I fit all of the water of the ocean into one small bowl? My mind is just like the state of this bowl. I can't explain your gun. Hum kya gun tere vithara swami? What can I explain? Tere kavan gun keh gawa. Tu sahib guni nidana. What can I say about yours? The amount of words that I can say on my tongue, I can say them until the end of time, but even that won't actually describe how great you are. The true qualities you are, Sache Pacha, I am nothing. I am very low compared to you, Pyareo. In order to understand and get out of this Kaljug, we have to fall at the feet. We have to surrender our mind. Nobody in this world wants to say that they are low. Everybody wants to say they are great. Everybody goes to somebody else and they explain that I am great, you are a bad person. No matter even if they're doing the worst things. They may be doing the most horrendous crimes and sins, but even in their mind, they still justify themselves to be great. But when we face Akal Purkh, this is the mentality that we need to read these saloks with, Pyareo. That I know nothing, Sache Pacha, you are great. Why would I question you? If you were the form, O Guru Granth Sahib Ji of Akal Purkh, then I do not question you either. I fall at your feet. Hum kya gun tere vithare swami, tu apare aparo Ram Raje. You are something that is immeasurable. You are something that can't be described, O my beloved. Har naam salah hai din raat iha as adaro. I can't actually describe you or know you, but there's one thing that I can do is day and night. What I can do is I can try to praise you. I can praise you all day, all night. I can sing your name. I can sing your virtues. This is why in this dark age, Kaljug mein kirtan pardana, Gurmukh japiya laye tyana, that we want to just focus our consciousness on Guru Sahib's Shabad, on that Naam, and day and night we want to do Kirtan, Pyareo. Singing this Kirtan is one of the highest forms of puja, the highest forms of worship, the highest forms of meditation that you can do in this entire world, especially in this dark age, Pyareo. So Guru Ramdas Ji is saying, oh my mind, if you can't know Akal Purkh, if he is beyond measure, then just sing his praises day and night, day and night. Praise as more you can, because this is what is going to do your gati. This is what is going to liberate you. Har naam salah hai din raat iha as adaro. I am low, but there's one thing that I can do is I can place my hopes on you. Just like a child doesn't know any better, they place their hopes on their mother. They place their hopes on their father. The father provides for them, takes care of them. The child may not know what has been happening in the father or mother's life and what they do at work or what they may be doing before the child was born, but they do always take the side of their father and mother. They say that I place my hopes on you, just like that. We are children of Akal Purkh. Let's place our hopes on Sache Pacha as well. Hum moorak kichu na jaanha, give pavah paro. But the reality is, if I don't place my hopes on you, I don't know any better. Vekho, hum moorak kichu na jaanda. I don't know anything. How do I follow this path of spirituality in order to attain you? How do I follow these paths? There's so many different influences in this world. Somebody is saying, walk the path this way. Somebody is saying you need to focus on this. Somebody is saying you need to meditate in this way. Some people say, forget God, just focus on your life, focus on finance, focus on your children. There's so many different influences, but I'm a fool. What do I know? Why would I question you? Hum moorak kichu na jaanha, give pavai paro. I don't know how to go across this terrifying world ocean. How can I cross over? I'm just like a rock that is drowning in this world. So Sache Pacha, I ask you for this blessing. Jan Nanak har ka das hai, I'm your slave. Har das panharo, you are the person that can save me. Help me cross over this ocean because I am your slave. I fall at your feet. And if I fall at your feet, I know that you are such a great provider, such a great data. Just like a mother grabs the hand of a child. Just like that, the only way that I know to be saved is when Eha As Adaro. I place my hopes in you and you become my support. Because the truth is, just like we read in Gurbani, even in this series, Asa Di Vaar, har jug jug pagto paya, paj rakhda aya Raam Raje. Whoever becomes your das, you will destroy all of their difficulties. You will destroy all of their pains that come in their way. And those slaves of yours, you will grab their hand and you will cross them over this terrifying world ocean. That's why I don't place my hopes in anybody else in this world other than you, O my beloved Paramatma. Pero, this is the mentality that we need. So the question was asked to Guru Nanak Dev Ji, what does Kaljug look like? What is Kaljug? What is the state of Kaljug in this world? Guru Nanak Dev Ji Sache Pacha, they reply, they say, Salok Mahalla Pehla, Sach Kal Kood Varteya, Kal Kalak Betal. In this world, there is truth. There is definitely truth in this world. But in the state of being, the Akal Purkh is the form of truth. But inside of this truth, Kood, Kal da Kood Vart Gaya. There is what we may describe as a famine of such. Just like there's a drought in the middle of a desert, there is water. Pyareo, we can't say that there's no such thing as truth. There is truth, but there's a famine of it. Very rare are those, virle kei ke, very rare are those Gurmukh, those devotees, those Bhagats that enshrine the Naam inside of their heart, that are living and they become the form of the truth. There's a famine of that. There's a drought of such. And Kood is the strong wind, the strong darkness, the storm that has taken over this entire age, this entire world. Sach Kal Kood Varteya, Kal Kalak Betal. And just like the grime of falsehood, the grime of blackness, dark, dust, it's taken over and it's stormed all over the minds of this entire world. And what has it turned these people living in this world? They are the form of truth. Kaho Kabir, Raam ki ans jas kagad par mita na mans. Just like they can't be separated, but oh is kood de vich lepet ke. They've been entangled in this form of dust, in this storm. And whilst in the storm, they've turned their minds, they've gone completely betal. Betal literally means offbeat. There is a rhythm of this world. There is a rhythm of this Anhad Shabad. There's a rhythm of the Hukam of Akal Purkh. There's a Hukam of Dharma and Maryada. But Pyareo, whoever goes off of the path, Betal ho jande ne. They go off beat off the Guru's path. The Guru tells us this is the beat, this is the path you have to walk. But then those that walk off the path, Pyareo, those that completely turn their face away from Guru and Akal Purkh, they turn into Betale, and some people even describe Betal as demons. They describe it as complete monsters. They've turned into Kaljugi Jeev. So Pyareo, Kal Kalak Betal, their mind, their eyes, all their indriya, their entire body is filled with this filth. That's all they see in this world. And the reality is, Sache Pacha says, when I look into this world, what is the state of Kaljug? The state of Kaljug is that The storm of blackness has taken over this entire world, affected the minds of those people. And the truth is very rare to find. It's hiding in certain places. If you look in this world, all you see is darkness. Pyareo, Bio beej pat le gaye, ab kyun ugve dal. In previous states, in previous ages, whether it be Satyug, whether it be Treta, Dwapar, there have been many great beings. There has been great Rams, great Krishnas. There has been other great avatars. They've all done bhakti. Many people during those times, they've all done bhakti. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਜੁਗਾਂ ਦਾ ਬੀਜ ਕੇ, based on their season meaning their jug, their age, they've all placed their seed. Pero it's described that in Satyug, the way was Satya, which means truth, living truth. And that is how somebody was to attain Paramatma. That was the way to get rid of falsehood. Because there was rarely any falsehood at that time. And then in Treta, the way was to do Jug. Everybody did Jug at that time. And then during the time of Dwapar, it was the time of puja, of prayer. So many people did physical devotional worship. And what did they do? They sang prayer. They praised God. During that puja and during that prayer, that was during Dwapar. But then we look into Kaljug, in this state of Kaljug, everybody is still focusing on those things that were being done in the past, of just speaking truth, of just doing Jug, of just doing puja. The reality of the world is, majority of the world is lost in these things. They are great things, but without Naam, that is the seed that you need to plant in this Jug. Bio beej pat le gaye. Those that were in the past, they planted the seed. Bio beej, they planted the seed. Pat le gaye, and they attained honor. Pat means honor. They were blessed with that honor, and they went to Dargah, and they became the form of Akalpur. They were liberated. But then those of us that didn't connect, we are the ones that are stuck in this Kaljug. Look at us. Jinnah ne puja kar li, apne jug de anusar, oh gati prapat kar gaye. But then there's us. They attained it. But then there's us, that we apa halle vi ithe rolde hain. Who knows how long that we've been going in these cycles for. But in this dark age that we are in, there's only one thing we read in Gurbani. Sache Pacha explains to us. They say, Kaljug mein bahut karma kamai. That in this Kaljug, you do many actions. But these doing just good actions itself was not just the season. That's not the seed for just this Jug. Kaljug mein bahut karma kamai. Na rot na karma, thahe pahe. You can plant the seeds of those in this Jug, but it's not the right season for it. So you don't actually gain anything from it. In the next line, Sache Pacha explains, Kaljug mein Raam naam hai sar. Gurmukh sacha lagay pyar. Vekho, kiddi pyari gal Sache Pacha ne dasi. In the state of Kaljug, the only thing that can be your support, that can help you, that is going to liberate you, that is Raam Naam. Raam da Naam. Take the seed of Naam that the Guru is blessing you, enshrine it inside of your heart. Kaljug mein kirtan pardana. Gurmukh japiya laitya. This is the seed that you need to plant. But in the other state of Kaljug, vikho, Kalkati Raje Kasai. In this state of Kaljug, everybody is not planting that seed of Naam. They're planting the other things. So, Sach Kal Kud Vartya, Kal Kalak Betal, everybody is just turned into demons. Let me just explain a small little bit from Atiyas. Very took matar pyareo. We've all heard the Sakhi of Malik Bhago, and we heard of Bhai Lalo ji. When Guru Nanak Dev Ji Sache Pacha went, and during that area, everybody praised Malik Bhago as being a great righteous person. They were saying that that person is so religious. Anybody that came, any sadhu, any fakir, any poor person, any rich person, anybody that traveled, they would go and Malik Bhago would feed them langar. He was known to be such a charitable person. But when Guru Nanak Dev Ji Sache Pacha went to that town, Guru Nanak Dev Ji went to the house of Bhai Lalo. They didn't go to the great person that everybody was praising. Pyare, the reality of this world is people are praising even those that seem to be righteous and religious on the outside, but not those that truly have the essence. But sometimes we see somebody just do a small little action that they seem like they know a lot, but the reality is they don't. Majority of the world, very rare people will actually get into the sadhu and the sangat and they'll take the right essence out of it. Many people will just be looking for controversy, or they'll be looking after celebrities. You can look at it. Somebody speaks about dharam, somebody speaks about true peace on the inside, somebody speaks about Naam and Gurbani. They'll maybe get even on YouTube, you'll get 2,000 views, 1,000 views, 5,000 views. Somebody posts a small little silly video, or whether it's about lust or some angry fight, and it'll get millions upon millions and millions, hundreds and thousands of views. Pero that is the reality of the world. People praise and they go run after the things that are actually not worth it. They're just full of good. But ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸੱਚੀ ਗੱਲ ਆ, ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਇਦਾਂ ਵੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ, the true saint is speaking words and they're teaching, but there's only one or two people there to listen. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Sache Pacha is there. The world is going after Malik Bhago, but Guru Nanak Dev Ji Sache Pacha goes to Bhai Lalo, and only Bhai Lalo is there to listen. Vekho kiddi pyari gall hai. Malik Bhago says that I hear Guru Nanak Dev Ji is in town. So he sends for Guru Nanak Dev Ji and says, "Oh Guru Nanak Dev Ji, please come to my place and have prashada, have langar." Because the reality is, if you don't come, then meri ijjat gawa javegi. I will be in shame. People won't think of me as so honorable. I need you to come here. Please, to save my honor, please arrive. Guru Nanak Dev Ji responds, they say, "I don't want to eat your food because inside of your food there is blood. Even though you are donating, but how did you gain this food? How did you gain this money? You punished people. You made other people bleed for it. You tortured people for it. You stole for it. You threatened other people for it. And now you're putting on just a show to pretend that you're religious, to have people attracted to you. But the only food that I'm going to eat is the food of Bhai Lalo. And Bhai Lalo, inside of their prashada, there is amrit, there is milk. Guru Nanak Dev Ji even goes and they squeeze both rotiyan and they show that, look, your food is full of blood, your food is full of amrit, full of milk." Pyareo, this is what we need to be taking out. That in this world without Naam, you could be pretending to do all of the other actions, but if Naam is not inside of your heart, then if your heart is not true, how can your mind be true? It doesn't matter what other actions that you're doing. Biyo beej pat le gaye, ab kyun ugvai dal. The state of ab kyun ugvai dal means that in order to plant a seed, in order to grow a plant from it, in order to grow a bush or a tree, the seed needs to have both halves. If you only plant one half of a seed, then it actually won't grow. It won't actually grow any fruit. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji Sache Pacha is explaining, look at a piece of dal or lentil. Dal has two sides to it. If you split that dal into two sides and you plant it, you can't do it. So what people are doing, they're only doing half of the job. Meaning that when it's split up, they're living in duality. They're also trying to please Akal Purkh and do something religious and righteous and do some charitable action. They also want to be peaceful on that aspect. But on the other side, they're being pulled towards the world. When one seed, again I repeat, is split into two, then they're living in duality, trying to please the world, and they're trying to please the Guru. Pyaro, this is the state of duchittapan. This is the state of dumani, of dubda, of doubt. You're placing your one foot on one boat and one foot on the other boat. And one boat is meant to drown for sure. But when you're putting your foot on both boats, the boats split apart and you fall and you drown in the middle. This world will always go into the state of falsehood. It will be finished. If you fully go 100% on that state of the Guru and focus on the Guru, then you will be liberated. But in this world, this is what we are doing. We are living in duality. And Sache Pasha explains, Je ko hoye ta ugave, rutti hu rut hoye, je ik hoye. If the two sides of the seed are made one, if this person is not going into duality, pleasing the world a little bit, trying to attain things, happiness for the world, and then also trying to please the Guru. No, that is not the way. They need to ik man, ik chit te. That both, everything, their mind, their chit, they're both, everything is just focused on the Guru, physically, non-physically, every aspect of their life, day and night. Look, everything else in this world is full of two, day and night, hot and cold, happy, sad, old age, young age, everything is two or more. But Sache Pacha explains, if you can take all of these things and place them as one, Je ik hoye ta ugave, that is when the seed of Naam can be planted. And that is when it can truly grow. Je ik hoye ta ugave, rutti hu rut hoye, and it is the right season. The right season meaning that it is this time of Kaljug. And you need to do the right thing for the right season. And in this season, it is the time for Naam and falling at the feet of the Guru. Sache Pacha then explains further. Nanak pahe bahara kore rang na soy. So the first example Guru Nanak Dev Ji Sache Pacha gave is the example of the seed not being planted in the right time. The second example Sache Pacha explains, how can you grow this plant? How can you get rid of this falsehood? And they explain, just like a dyer takes clothes and they are about to dye a certain color. Nanak pahe bahara kore rang na soy. Paha, pyareo, is a tool that is used in order to treat the raw and rough cloth. Because a raw, rough cloth cannot be dyed very easily. Even if it is dyed in a certain color, the color fades off. In order to have a very strong color, in order to have a rich color, it needs to be treated, whether it's chemically treated or whether it's treated with a paha. What a paha, once you place it on, what it does, it gives off a big steam. And when it gives off this big steam, it removes a lot of these impurities and all of these dusts that are inside of that cloth. So it removes all the filth from the cloth. So then once it's dyed, it becomes pure and it easily absorbs the color. Nanak pahe bahara, but without going through that treatment first, how can that kora kapda, how can that rough kapda, that raw kapda, actually be drenched and be touched with that color? Nanak pahe bahara kore rang na soy. This is the state of us without actually going through this first treatment. But what is this treatment? Pyareo, Guru Sahib is giving you Naam. Guru Sahib is trying to bless you. Guru Sahib is giving you an updesh that this world is false. Don't attach to it. It is the state of Kaljug. Sing the God's praises. But the person's mind is already in a different state. It's full of filth. It's full of these impurities that doesn't let that color, that love of Akal Purkh absorb into its mind. And what is that? It is the state of its own being. It does not respect the fear of Akal Purkh. Pyareo, without living in the fear of Akal Purkh, the loving fear, respect, the mryada, without living according to the will of the Guru, we cannot live according to that loving fear. Just like we read in Gurbani, Peh bin bhagat na hovai, naam na lagai pyar. Without falling in love with the Guru, without living in the fear of Akal Purkh, the true Naam's love cannot be experienced. Just in the same way, we are like raw kapda. We think and we challenge the Guru. We don't accept what the Guru is saying. So we don't even want to listen to the Guru. We don't even want to listen to what the saints are saying. So we want to go our own way. We indulge in Maya. We indulge in our own ways. We indulge in whatever pleases our mind. We listen to our own opinions and our own comforts and pleasures. Pyareo, this is how we cannot absorb. You take somebody who doesn't know anything about the Guru, who doesn't even respect the Guru, you can put them in the middle of Sangat. But Pyareo, they won't absorb anything. Instead, they'll just walk out with more doubts. They'll go to the Guru's Darbar, they'll listen to Gurbani, but instead they'll walk out attaining something completely different. Pyareo, Kirtan can be played, but their attention will be just on somewhere else. They won't actually be drenched in the love of the Guru. Peh vich khumb chadaiye, saram paho tan hoye, if you truly make this comb of yours, chadaiya, if you take this paha and your color is treated, and this treatment is done with this peh vich comb chadaiya, saram paho tan hoye, then the saram paho, saram here pyareo, two ways Vidwans have translated it. The very first one is the way of the Persian language. The Persian language is that it is translated to modesty, to shame. And then there is the other way, the other language, which the root language it is spoken from Sarm, which is Sanskrit. And here Sarm means active application, making an effort to do something. But both of these apply here. If we look at it, Saram pahotan hoy, when we become fully modest, meaning we detach ourselves from the desires and the elegancies of the world, from the shingar of the world, then what ends up happening is we go into the state of virag. So Saram also here means virag, detachment from this world. When we get treated with that detachment of the world, all of the impurities are taken out of our mind, then that cloth can be drenched in the komb, meaning the pool where it is filled with the dye of the color of love of Akal Purkh. Once our cloth is fully drenched in that, all impurities have been taken out, then it fully takes in and then it absorbs that majita rang, that guda rang, that rich, pure color, and it doesn't let that color go, because the true color of Naam pyareo, लाल रंग तिस को लगा जिस केवड़ भागा मैला कदे न होवे नह लागे दागा प्यारो. That color is so true that it never ever gets stained again, because there's no impurities in that color. All other colors of this world will fall off. The world is false, all colors and pleasures of it is false, but if you drench in the truth, then it will stay true as well. How can you truly be drenched in that true color of Guru's love? By falling and living under the loving fear of Akal Purkh and detaching yourself from the world and living modestly. The world is trying to walk up on each other. One businessman wants to step over the other one. One family wants to step over its neighbors. One auntie wants to wear a better suit than the next auntie. This is the state of the world. One person wants to have better equipment, better gear, a better car, a better house than its neighbor. Everybody is just trying to step over each other, because how can I be? People even go into states of debt just to please the world. Pyareo, this is not how we want to live. Instead, live in a state which some people even nowadays call it minimalist. Only take what you need, live modestly, because the real focus of yours should be on Paramatma. Nanak bhagti je rapੈ, kooda soe na koe. There are two arths of this pyareo. Kooda soe na koe. Bhai Veer Singh has done the arth of soe, meaning to touch. Once somebody is completely drenched in this color of bhakti, then even kooda, falsehood, filth, cannot even touch them. And the other arth that many Vidwans have done is kooda soe na koe. The reality is that with them, nobody can praise them falsely. Kooda, jhuthi, soe meaning shobha, false praising. Nobody can falsely praise them, because first, people are praising people like Malik Bhago, but it's false praise because he wasn't truly righteous. But when you're truly drenched in that color of love, then when somebody praises you and says that you are in the color of love, that is not false praise anymore, because you are truly in the color of love. You are truly have no impurities, because when you have become the form of Paramatma, the form of truth, then any praise to you, just like Guru Ram Das Ji is saying, Hum kya gun tere vithra, Swami, tu apre aparo Ram Raje. If Akal Purkh's praises can't be praised, then the praises of the Gursikhs, the praises of the Guru's devotees, they cannot be described either. So any praise to you will not fully be reaching its actual potential, will not be truly fulfilled. Therefore, nobody can do false praise of that Gursikh, that person that is drenched in that love either. So then Guru Nanak Dev Ji Sache Pacha was asked, we understand how Akal Purkh is true in this world, those that are drenched in that love, but those that have forgotten that love. We know the seed of Naam is the only thing that can remove all other filths and impurities in this world, because it is all just a dark storm. But in this world, show us how is this Kaljug prevalent today. Guru Nanak Dev Ji describes, they say, Mahalla Pehla, Lab Paap Doy Raja Mehta Kood Hoa Sikdar. Guru Nanak Dev Ji describes, look, they give these analogies. They say, look, the world is controlled by a king. The rule is of a king. But the king in this world right now is greed. It is desire. Lab Paap. Lab meaning desire. Paap means sin. Doy Raja Mehta. The king is the greed. That is what rules this entire world. Everybody is just going after their desire. And who is the Mehta, meaning the chief, or what we can translate even as the prime minister, the head? Who is the leader of the world? It is Paap. The rule, the control of this entire world is under greed. And who is leading everybody? That is Paap. Pyareo, we make Paap our leader. Sin leads all actions that we do in this world, and it is controlled. All of these sins are controlled by what? What is the governing law behind it? It is desire. Because we desire for something, we don't care what happens to the other person. We don't care how we attain or fulfill our desire, whether it's in the way of pun or whether it's in the way of Paap. Pyare, we can do a true action, a righteous action, or we can commit a sin, and we don't care about that. We overlook all of these things. Lab Paap Doy Raja Mehta Kood Hua Sakdar. So in this entire kingdom of this world, there's also a treasurer. There is a Sikhdar, the person that creates the Sikka, who creates the coins. And that person is Kood. It is falsehood. Everybody is trading falsehood. Everybody is listening to the systems of this falsehood. They give falsehood and they receive falsehood. People in this world, they give money, receive money, but that is all false as well. Behind every exchange, every interaction, every transaction that they make with anybody in this world, every encounter that they have with anybody in this world, whether it's an exchange of a karm, whether it's in the exchange of sangat, it is all full of kood, pyareo, falsehood. Kaam neb sad puchiye. But then in this state, everybody has an advisor. Some people call their friends for advice. The king always calls in the chobdar. Kaam neb sad puchiye. They call in the chobdar, the guard, the advisor, the ministers, and they say, let's sit down. Beh kare bichar. Let's sit down and let's discuss how we can actually make decisions. So they have their small committees, their councils, their advisory boards. But what is the advisory board in this life in Kaljug of this world? That is kaam, that is lust. Pyareo, in this mind, what is the advisor of this entire body? Our hands do actions. Our eyes do actions. Our tongue does action. But what advises our eyes and our hands to do everything? What does our mind sit with, Pyareo? It sits with kaam. Kaam is taken over our mind. Lust is taken over our mind. So anything that we do in this world, any action that we do in the state of Kaljug, Kaljug ke kami. Pyareo, everybody is going after this desire of lust. And when they go after this lust, every other action of sin, every greed that they have, every exchange of falsehood that they make, it is all advised after this lust. This is how the world is completely being controlled, and everybody in this world is being turned with this filth, this grime of falsehood into demons. They're turning into Rakshish. And now in this kingdom, there's the advisor Kaam, but then there is also the subjects, the Parja. There are these citizens of that kingdom. And who are the subjects to this king? Andi Rayat Gyan Vihuni, Rayat meaning subjects, Gyan Vihuni, that they have no Gyan, they have no realization. Andi, meaning they're completely blind. The blind is following the blind. But we follow many things in this world. Our hands and eyes, these are subject to certain things, but our mind is blind, completely blind. It doesn't know what it's doing. And this blind mind of ours follows another blind mind. It follows the blind pleasures of the world. Some blind person is explaining that this is what we should do. This is how you attain happiness in life. So our blind mind, subject, is following the blind. So what can they truly obtain? Nothing. Pahe pare murdar pyareo. Pahe means fire, Agni. These subjects are full of this fire, of this desire. This desire inside of them burns. They don't care what they do. One neighbor doesn't care about the benefit of the other neighbor. They only care for their own benefit. They don't care what the other person receives. Dusra bhukha nanga mare. They can die and go hungry. We don't care, but we need to have food. Pyareo, many people say that there'll be an apocalypse. There'll be this. But Pyareo, Sache Pacha Guru Nanak Dev Ji is saying that in time of the great purge is happening actually right now. Kaljug is the great purge. Because look, nobody in the sense, because if we're living in this state of Kaljug, we don't actually see it in that sense. We don't see it to be that bad because we start seeing these comforts and we start trying to find happiness of it. We start finding our ways out of it. But the reality is this, inside of our minds, behind the scenes, the reality is this is exactly how Kaljug is working. They are full of this desire. They don't care about the benefit of anybody else. Their business can completely crash. We don't care. We need to succeed. We don't care if somebody else dies or somebody else's car crashes. That's their fault. They can deal with it themselves. We don't care about somebody else's insurance claims. They can deal it with themselves. It's all about us. We don't care if the other person loses their job or they don't. It's all about us. We don't even care if the other person's child dies. Our children need to be safe because we are attached to them. We're full of this desire just for ourselves to feed our own egos. We eat up other people just like dead bodies. Murdar means dead body. We are dead demons. We're eating dead demons. We're like zombies in this world. We're completely blind to the truth. This is what Guru Nanak Dev Ji Sache Pacha is describing. Pyare, without the Guru showing us this reflection, this darpan to us, we don't sometimes see the reality of ours. This is why sometimes when we read Gurbani, we actually don't want to follow this path because it shows us the faults and we see, oh no, but there's so much negativity in this. This is not, but no, it's not negativity. Sache Pacha is explaining the truth. We always want to, no, but this is not how I feel comfortable. Of course, your mind is not going to be comfortable trying to listen to this thing, saying that this is the state of the world. Your mind is not going to be happy because your mind also always wants to go into a state of its own comfort. It doesn't want to escape that comfort zone of itself. It wants to exist. Maharaj is saying you need to kill your mind and fall at the feet of the Guru. Drench yourself in the color of love and then remove these impurities. But your mind is the form of impurity, is form of mal. So it doesn't want to lose itself. That is the nature of your mind. It doesn't want to die. But Maharaj says you need to kill your mind in front of your Guru. But when we are living in this world, we think we're alive. We're actually dead to that Paramatma. We're actually truly dead to that Rang, that love, that color. We're actually dead because we're not experiencing true life, which is attained through Paramatma. We are dead demons, which are also eating other dead bodies. Gyani nache vajje vave roop kare sigar. All of this is happening, and then there are many spiritual leaders, the Gyanis, the self-proclaimed people who say that they are following righteousness, that the spiritual gurus, they dance based on what the chele, they play all of the musical instruments. The musical instruments are played, meaning the world is playing this instrument, saying that the world needs to go in one way. And what are the actual spiritual leaders doing? They're not actually preaching truth. No. That's not what they're doing. They're just going and giving the world what they desire. So the world desires, you know what? We don't actually need to kill our mind. We can just kind of do this little bit of meditation and find happiness this way. So the spiritual gurus, they're going in this world and they're saying, oh yeah, okay, that's fine. If that's what you want to do, just do that. But then give me money. Just follow me. Pyaro, even today that happens. It's very rough, and forgive me for saying this, but the reality is many spiritual leaders, they people please as well. Not the true ones, I'm not saying that, but the false ones. They people please just to, whether it's to get subscribers, whether it's to get followers, whether it's to get donations for their charities even, whether it's to get people to call them, whether it's to get more people to attend their programs, whether it's to get better places and governments to accept them and give them better seats, whether it's to go under and work under governments and other companies just so they can get sponsored under that. So because they are only following this true love of this Maya. Gyani, Nache, Vaje, Vave, Roop Karesi, Gar, Pyaro, they even take on many different forms. Many preachers, you could call yourself a life coach, but you're not actually teaching them how to give the true jugti of life. You don't know the true jugti of life, the true way of life. How can you be a life coach? Only the true Guru, those people that are enlightened, can be life coaches. Pyaryo, Roop Kare Sigar, they take on many different forms. They dress up. Pyaryo, those would dress up and they would wear many different shigars. You can wear gold chains. You can dress up as Raam, Krishna, and Ras Leela and Ram Leelas. But it is all just false. You are actually just acting just for the state of money. Uche kuke vada gave joda ka vichar. They sing very loud. They're very loud. People see them. Maybe they're on the news. Maybe they're in public. Maybe they speak really loud and sing really loud. Gave joda ka vichar. They sing of many great warriors in the past, but they're not living up to the expectation. They share all of these vichars, but pyaryo, they are blind themselves. Murak Pandit Hikmat Hujjat Sanjay Karhe Pyar. Then there's the Murak Pandit, the Murak false Gyanis, scholars. The self-proclaimed scholars that are just saying that we have a lot of logic. We can prove different things. Hikmat, which means cleverness. Chaturanya. They're trying to be very clever and win their way. Hujjat, meaning daleels and logic. What do you mean? Where can we prove this? I know this book. I've read this. I know this pangati. And they may be referring to all the different texts and they give logic. Oh, how can a fish climb a tree? Because that's not possible. That's not possible. This is impossible. God doesn't exist. Let me prove it to you. So with all these different chaturanya, what they end up doing, they are just giving this logic and they are doing this chaturanya in this world. They're just living in their own intellect. Sanjay kare pyar. Sanjay meaning they're trying to just bring together a bunch of money. They're controlling and gathering money, accounting for their money, and that is what they're loving. Kare par sanjay kare pyar. ਪੈਸਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਸੰਚ ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਪਿਆਰ ਪਾਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ. This is why they're also blind as well. Even the scholars do not know, have true scholarly wisdom. ਧਰਮੀ ਧਰਮ ਕਰੇਗਾ ਵਾਵੇ ਮੰਗੇ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ. And then there is those people that claim to be dharmi, righteous. Those humanitarians, righteousness people, those people that claim to walk the path of true dharm. Dharmi dharm karega vaave. They do many righteous dharm actions. But when by doing all of these righteous actions, they actually lose all of it. Why? Because they end up having a desire. If you are going to do a righteous act, if you're going to do seva kart hoye nehkami, tisko hot prapat swami. Do seva completely selflessly. The reality is, if you do seva, you do great actions. When you're about to attain something, pyaryo, whatever desire is inside of your mind, that's what you end up attaining instead. So they just grow their egos. I want to desire this. Mange muk duar. They do great actions, but the only thing that's in their mind, they only ask for liberation. They're not falling in love of the Guru as well. No, they're doing good actions just so I do this action, so I must be liberated. I do this great action, so I can get out of this cycle of birth and death. But there is still selfishness there. Mange mok duar. They're just trying to reach the state of salvation, but the state of salvation cannot be attained in that way. No, not just by being selfish. They're doing actions just for that. They're not caring for the world. They're not even following in the love of the Guru. Only when you fall in the love of the Guru, all homage is dispelled. Jati sadava jugta na jana. And those people that claim to be celibates, renunciates, detached from this world, they go and they live in the jungles. But they don't actually know the true way of living. Shad bah karbar. They renounce the household. They don't get married. They don't have kids. They don't even work. They don't go and live in this world. They don't socialize with people. No, they say nobody's allowed to talk to me. Nobody is allowed to show me money. They don't even want to see another person. Instead, they live in the jungles. But pyaro, they don't actually know the true way of living in this world either. The true way of this path to Gursikhi as well. Kurbani Sache Pacha Guru Gobind Singh Ji says, Reman aso kar sannyasa. Ban se badan sabaj kar samjo man hi mahe udasa. If you're going to live in the jungles, what is the point of living in the jungles? Because you're still having desires. You're still living in this this illusion of darkness. But the reality is, if you're going to live in isolation, Detach yourselves from the desires of this world and sit in your tirat of your atma. Sit in your true house of your true self. And then whatever your hands and feet and eyes are doing in this world, you won't actually fall and get entangled in that. But you'll be doing everything in this world as well. Sabko pura ape hova ghat na koi aakhe. And look at all of these people, whether it's the scholars, whether it's the celibates, whether it's the righteous people, whether it's those people that are singing praises of great warriors in the past, whether it's those people that are singing and pretending to be great gurus, whether it's the people, the kings, whether it's the people that are advising, all of these people, nobody actually claims that they are bad. Sabko pura ape hova. They all say, but I'm perfect. I'm not. There's nothing wrong with me. Pyareo, we do a seva and then we claim, I'm perfect. There's nothing wrong with me. You go to the Guru tells you, this is what's wrong with you. But then the person that is anda, they say, no, my Guru, no, they were referring to somebody else. There's nothing wrong with me. Guru says, oh, there's people that are greedy in this world. Yeah, there are people that are greedy in this world. Those other people, not me. I'm not greedy. No. Sabko pura ape hove. There are many bad Gursikhs. There's many hypocritical people. Yeah, that's talking to them, not about me. Pero, everybody, even Aurangzeb, considered himself to be doing something for righteousness. ਉਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਵਿੱਚ ਚੰਗਾ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ that I'm going to do something for the righteousness of Islam, but ਪਿਆਰੇ, he did not have daya inside of himself. ਪਤ ਪਰਵਾਣਾ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਪਾਈਏ ਤਾਂ ਨਾਨਕ ਤੋਲਿਆ ਚਾਪੈ. But we have to not compare ourselves to other people and compare ourselves to ourselves. We must compare ourselves to the great saints, the great bhagats. ਤਿਨਾ ਦੇਖ ਮਨ ਚਾਓ ਠੰਡਾ. ਹੁਣ ਕਹਤ ਭਾਈ ਗੁਰਦਾਸਾ. ਪਿਆਰੇ, we read ਇੱਕ ਦੂ ਇੱਕ ਚੜਨ ਦੀਆਂ ਕੌਣ ਜਾਣੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਨਾਮ ਜੀਓ. They are great. ਜੋ ਦਿਸੈ ਗੁਰਸਿਖੜਾ ਤਿਸ ਨਿਵ ਨਿਵ ਲਾਗੋ ਪਾਈ ਜੀਓ. I fall at their feet. Those great Gursikhs, I beg for the dust of their feet. Pat parvana pichhe paiye. Those people that in the past, those great saints that have reached the state of liberation, that have made great honor in their life, compare yourself to them. Compare yourself to Bhagat Kabir Ji. Compare yourself to Bhagat Tanna Ji. Compare yourself to Mata Paukar Ji. Compare yourself to Baba Ajit Singh Ji. Compare yourself to Sant Baba Harman Singh Ji Rampur Khede Wale. Compare yourself to Sant Baba Atar Singh Ji Mastwana Wale. Compare yourself to Sant Baba Ishar Singh Ji. Compare yourself to Sant Jarnail Singh Ji Pendra Wale. Compare yourself to Paisa Bhai Randir Singh, Paisa Bhai Rama Singh Ji. Pyareo, compare yourselves to great Gursikhs. Compare yourself to great Gursikhs even today. Compare yourselves to even through the teachings that Guru Nanak Dev Ji and Guru Gobind Singh Ji that they taught to us through history, through their physical lives. Compare yourselves to Bhagat Prahlad Ji. Compare yourselves to Bhagat Namdev Ji. When you compare yourselves and you put them, when you weigh them, Pat Pravana Pichhe Paiye. What it means is when you weigh your actions compared to their actions, you say, oh, but I spoke the truth once in my life. Oh, I read one Chaupai Sahib in my life. I read a Japji Sahib this morning, so I must, I'm liberated. I'm the greatest person in this world. Of course, you're not going to say you're bad. But compare yourself to those people who used to do 125 Japji Sahibs every single day. Live Guru Sahib's Naam through their breath every single moment. Compare yourself to them. Don't compare yourself to your alcohol drinking friends. Don't compare yourself to your father that's abusing your mother, or your mother that's always doing slander and gossip about all the other auntie. And don't compare yourself to them. Don't compare yourself to the person at school who is having a whole bunch of affairs and saying, I'm not doing that, therefore I'm righteousness. No, you must compare yourself to the greatest saints. If you want to succeed in this world, you must follow the actions of millionaires and billionaires, of CEOs of companies. This is what many entrepreneurs, they preach about this. But if you want to follow the path and become even 1% of the dust of those great saints, compare yourself to them. Weigh your actions to those great saints. And then, the Nanak Tolya Jabe, that's when you know your true value. That's when you know ke asal vich main kithe khada aa. But in this state of Kaljug, nobody wants to say that they are wrong. Everybody wants to say that they are right. Why would I want to compare myself to them? And pyaro, ithe tak aa jandi hai when somebody, we explain something like Bhagat Namdev Ji, or we explain something that happened in history. Many people say, well, we can't do it. We are already great, so that couldn't have happened. That's false. It's just made up. We say all of these things just to prove ourselves, to claim that, you know what? Oh, I don't do that much Simran. I don't wake up at Amrit Vela. So if I don't wake up at Amrit Vela, I don't do Simran every day, if I don't read 100 Japji Sahibs every day, then it must, it's not worth it. So they're wrong for doing it. Only those true humble Gursikhs that are enlightened from the Guru, they say that I am absolutely nothing. They say that I have absolutely no gun. Karmaheen tan kare binanti. They say I have absolutely no virtue. Roopiheen buddbalhini mohe pardesan durte ai. I have no good looks. I have no good intellect. I have no sweet words. I've come from far away. I've been wandering around all this times. How can I meet my Paramatma? This is their state of mind. Pyareo. But then what actually truly happens in this world, just in a two kumatra, let's do this vichar. Mahalla pehla vadi so vajjagananaka sacha vekha soe. Vadi means whatever Akal Purkh is saying that this is what's going to happen. Whatever Akal Purkh has planned out. Vadi so vajjag, that's exactly what's going to happen. That whatever Akal Purkh is planned, that's what's going to play out. Nanak vadi so vajjagananaka sacha vekha soe. And Akal Purkh is overwatching all of this. They know exactly what's going to happen 100 years from now, what happened a million years in the past. They know what the state of the world is going to be in. So they know the state of us as well. Sabni shala mariya karta kare sohoy. Just like waves are always bouncing up and down. Tapusiyan mar dene. Just like frogs are jumping up and down, just in the same way, people are jumping up and down as well. Sabni shala mariya. Everybody in this world makes efforts. Their efforts are great. Everybody is trying. But karta kare sohoy, only that is going to happen what Akal Purkh wants. Mere har jiyo asya jor nahi je kich kar hum sakay jiyo pave tive bakhsh. Oh my beloved har jiyo, you control all power. Everybody in this world asks for power. They claim to have power. Nobody has power. That is only through their own ignorance that they claim that I have control over my life. But the reality is, I can't control anything in this world. Just like the way it pleases you, may I do something which pleases you, and if it pleases you, bless me, forgive me, liberate me. Sache Pacha, even if we look at this, I look at myself, and I've had many great discussions about this with great Gursikhs. We say that we're going to do great things for the Panth. The Panth is in such a down state. Oh my God, what's going to happen? The reality is, Guru Gobind Singh Ji even said that this is meri kheti. Ek kheti meri. That this Khalsa Panth of mine is my garden. I'm going to take care of every single flower that's inside of this garden. It's my responsibility. Karo sambal this keri. I'm going to take care of it itself. So, the purpose of us serving the Panth, the Panth is a path, a way to liberate ourselves. By falling at the feet of our Guru, we try to do seva. We lose ourselves, but through this seva, we make an effort that my Guru Gobind Singh Ji may be pleased with me, so my Guru can bless me. I'm not great, I'm very low. I have no intellect. I have absolutely nothing, no ability to even do seva or even clean the Pande of the Gurdwara. Who am I? My Guru knows what's going to happen with the Panth. My Guru knows the state of the world. So what? Main pame shala mari jawa. Sabni shala mari. Everybody in the world is trying to make efforts. Karta kare sohoy. Only what Akal Purkh wants to happen, that is what's going to happen. Agge jaat na jor hai. Agge jiyo nave. Because the reality is, in this world, we may think that we have power and we may claim to have things. There is no high caste or low caste either. There is no way of power. Somebody may be wealthy and saying I have power here. Somebody may be saying that I'm maybe a Jat, I'm not, this person is scheduled caste or this, all of these things that you hear now in our families. Somebody claims that, I speak a certain language, I work a certain job, therefore I'm better than this person. I have more knowledge, I have more degrees than this person, therefore I'm better. Pyareo, in there, when you go to the Dargah, in the next world, all of these things don't matter. Agge jaat na jo hai, agge jiyo nave. Pyaro, do arth kite ne vidwana ne. One is, agge jiyo nave. Everybody that thinks they're so great here, in that world, everybody is going to have to fall at the feet. Everybody is going to, even if they don't humble themselves, they're automatically going to be humbled. Agge jiyo nave, meaning, othe ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਿਵਣਾ ਪੈਣਾ. They're going to have to fall at the Guru's feet. But then Agge Jio Nave also means there. The entire world is Nama. It's new. It's Naveen. The whole system, the whole hierarchy of things is completely different to the way this world's hierarchy is. Agge Jio Nave. Everything is new. The people, the way everything happens there, everything is judged there is completely different to the way it's judged here. So Pyareo, we want to be working according to that. Jinki lekhe pat pavai. In that world, who is praised? Jina de lekhe, which according to the will of Paramatma, to the blessing of Akal Purkh, according to their karmas. Jinki lekhe pat pavai, they receive honor. They are parvan. They are honored. Pyareo, jini naam te aaya gaye masakat kaal nanak te mukhujle kiti shutti naal. Jina de ਅਸਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਝੋਲੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੱਤ ਪੈ ਜਾਵੇ ਚੰਗੇ ਸਹੀ ਕਿ they are only to be known ਚੰਗੇ, they are known to be great, the great people, the good people in this world and the next. What happens in this world is according to Paramatma. Sache Pacha is explaining, so don't be down about all of this stuff that is happening in Kaljug. Guru Nanak Dev Ji explains how we are the form of Akal Purkh. That all of these things that are happening in the will of Akal Purkh, some people, Akal Purkh, even created Kaljug themselves. Just like it is believed that this time goes through the cycle of these 4 jugs. Pero it is all in the will of Akal Purkh. Something bad happens, it is in the will of Akal Purkh. Something great happens, it's in the will of Akal Purkh. We must be living in that will of Akal Purkh. And Sehje, we must merge into that Paramatma as well. So Pyareo Sache Pacha explains, Tur karma jana ko tud paya in this paudi. Tur karma jana ko tud paya tat tinni khasam te aaya. Those people that have that karma, that blessings, that have the blessings inside of their lekha, their karms. Tur, in the beginning, very beginning, they have these blessings. Tur karma jana ko tud paya, from you they are blessed. Tat tinni khasam te aaya. They fall in love with their khasam, meaning lover. They fall in love with that lover, you, and they meditate day and night. They meditate with love on that beloved Paramatma only through these blessings. They don't have anything in their control. Through these jeeves, these separated beings, there's nothing in this control to the Veki Jagdupaya based on your doing, based on your actions. You created this entire world, Pyareo. Sache Pacha is the creator of this world. Sache Pacha is the sustainer of this world, the doer, the provider, and also the destroyer of this world. You watch over everything you are permeating through this entire universe. Ikna no tu mel lahe, ik apo to dikhwaya, Pyareo. To some, you merge with the Akal Purkh, and some, what do? You merge them in these entanglements of Maya, put them into this dark state, and then, they get lost. They get ruined in the state of Maya. You are the ones that are doing this. You are the ones that are meeting them and liberating many people as well. Look at your wondrous work. Gur kirpa te janeya. So the reality is then, how do we know you? Only through the Guru's kirpa. Once the Guru blesses us, then we realize you. With your blessings, we attain the Guru. Through the Guru's blessings, we know you. Guru kirpa te janeya, jithe tud aap bajaya. And only those jinanu tu bujona, those that you want to give this understanding, this Brahm Gyan to. All of their darkness is dispelled. Kaljug means nothing to them. They're always living in the state of Sachkhand afterwards. So Pyareo, Sehje hi Sach Samaya. Sehje, just like a river flows down a mountain. It goes steadily. Sehje, calmly, peacefully. It doesn't need to rush. It doesn't need to push pressure. It doesn't need to blame and gain tension in its mind. Pero Nanak chinta mat karo. Chinta tis hi hai. Don't worry about anything, just like we spoke about in the previous Paudiyan. We explained about worries and anxieties. Pyareo, this path is not by pushing and rushing and kal, that I need to do this. No. Kal na milyo. Save na milyo. Milyo jai achinta. By doing sehje, simran, avyas, tyona, living in the remembrance, living in the will of Akal Purkh, just like that water going down a river eventually reaches the ocean. Eventually it does. Maybe it hits rocks, it goes through many different paths. Maybe it goes out of the river, comes back and goes into a lake, gets reused, goes into a city. Eventually, through that water cycle, the water will eventually reach the ocean as well. Nanak leen payo gobind siyo, jyo pani sang pani sehje hi sach samaya. If you go into under this well, sehje, don't force it. Maybe it may take many lifetimes, but through the Guru's blessings, it can even take just a split second. Even a second is too long for that. Pyareo, through the blink of an eye, avakal purkh, that is beyond time. Pyareo, that Brahm Gyan can happen. Balihari Gura apne, Dyohari Sadvar, Jin Manas te Devte kiye, Kartana lagi var, didn't even take a split second to do. Just like that, don't worry about it, it's not within your control. Let go of expectations, let go of control. This is how you start living in peace and start living in will. Let go of expectations. Don't get angry. Don't get into lust. Know that this world is good, but there's truth behind it. Whatever happens in this world is through the will of Paramatma. Maharaj is going to bless you. Do these actions that is going to please Paramatma. Through the pleasing of Paramatma, sehje, by doing these actions, do your Nitnem every day. Pyareo, do Sangat every day. Just by doing Sangat once, you're not going to get Brahm Gyan. Don't say that now I've taken Amrit, now I'm a Brahm Gyani. No. Sehje, Pyareo. Just by you doing Japji Sahib once in a day, saying, I should have reached Brahm Gyan. I've been doing Simran for 30 days every single day. I should be experiencing Anhadatun. I should be, leaving my body. No. Today, many people will maybe even saying that if you do go according to our way of doing Simran, or our way, of spirituality, or our way of doing yaga, or our way of doing puja, or the spiritual acts, only if you go according to us, we can give you Brahm Gyan in just a split second. Pyareo, that is not within our hands, that's within the Guru's hands. If the Guru wants you to go living for many, many other janams, that's going to happen, Pyareo, but we want to ask for the blessings of Paramatma. Sache Pacha bless us. So even a split second, sehje hi sach maya, sehje tere vich apan leen ho jiye, Pyareo. We can't explain the ocean. We can't explain that. Hum kya gun tere vitra swami. Tu apre aparo Ram Raji. Just like the ocean is so vast, we can't explain it. All I can do is sing your praises. Sehje, main tera das ban ke tere vich sama jama. So Pyareo, inniyan bentiyan kardiyan. Vichara kardiyan, I made many mistakes. If I've hurt anybody's heart, or if I've explained something that's anything outside of Gurmat, please forgive me. Sari Sangat Gaj Vaj Ke Fateh Bilao Ji. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.